So everything is getting better and better, and I am so hopeful and very confident that one day I will have a very good reality in marriage, because I see here like teacher Linh Lê and teacher Trang and many others has very beautiful reality in their marriage, in their family, harmonious family, and we could receive their reality to apply. So today, please allow me to remind you about our portrait of Mentor 7 after graduating. Is it okay? Because here I see Miss Hồng Minh and Tường Vân are new with us. So please allow me to show you the portrait of graduate Mentor 7 who could really excellent not only in physical fields, but also their mental and capability. So for the physics, you please allow me to see the portrait to more correct. You will understand deeply the law of cause, condition, effect. You can write reflections and essays not to impress but to express yourself. Learn calligraphy. You can draw and write down the word very artfully to let your inner stillness take form on the page. Train AI, artificial intelligence, to serve you as a personal assistant, and you will document your own transformation through 200 real videos. So like a journey, like a movie, you could see back, look back at yourself through 200 videos day by day, your transformation. And not only in mind, but also in body. You can swim 2 kilometers on the sea. You can run 21 kilometers on sand. You will complete 10,000 full squats. Rotate your hips continuously, maintaining core axis alignment for 5 hours. Perform long range flutter kicks for 1 hour. And roll your back steadily, continuously for 6 hours. I really admire Mentor 7 because by the time our master increased the standard of the graduates, and we will simply achieve Ironman later if we could do all of these things. Yeah, like superhero at the beginning. When I heard that, I couldn't believe in it, but you could see the reality that people in WIT community, by the time they like conquered or they achieve that target in each sports, right? Yep. So that's the portrait, and Mentor 7 is completely different from other mentors because this is the last one will be taught by our master Trần Thanh Toàn. So it's really special, and he will help us to reach in all 7 aspects to achieve 7 holistic wealth. Okay, so congratulations when you are here as Mentor 7, or your beloved one will become Mentor 7. and this just like the qualification to help you more attractive in society and to show others that this philosophy could help us to really transform from normal person to exceptional person. Yeah, I think so. So, okay, so is there anyone who would like to share before the time our main sharer will start? We still have time. Yeah. Hello, cô Hoài My. Miss Thị Tiên, I see you very familiar with us. Thanks for coming. Mr. Nghĩa Tín. Anh Hiếu hả? Is that you? Is that anh Hiếu? Long time no see. Thanks, cô Anh Trang. Very early in the morning. She's here with us. She's in America. But yeah, we still have time to interact and sharing experience. Hello, Mr. Bình Nguyễn. Thanks for coming. Mr. Bình Nguyễn will become mentor 7 too, right?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I'm working right now, so
yeah, I understand.
please
yeah.
forgive me. Yep.
So I will keep the beautiful image of your family. I will learn by myself, have the reality, and that reality could persuade my husband to join. Hopefully, because Colin is like is the person who take the first step deep down in this knowledge, and then now all her family members go together with her, and I really admire that. You couldn't imagine if one day all the member families will say the same thing, talk the same thing, and do the same thing with you. We have the same goals for the future. We have the same picture of the future. It's really great. One thing I hope I keep the picture in my mind is my parents, because I see many people in WIT who are learning mentor and master with me. They are over 70 years old. But by the time just one year, they become younger, stronger, and more active. I'm really surprised when I see them after a short time. They look like exactly 20 years old, because they could use computer and all the technology. They could wear very stylish clothes, and they are so young inside and outside. So because I think the environment, the knowledge, and the way people like encourage and love each other here could help us to transform so quick, right? Mekhang, how about your family? How do you feel when all of you join WIT compared with before that? What is the difference? Could you share with us?
I feel like my mom has became nicer.
Nicer.
Yeah, more gentle. Less screaming, I think.
Less?
Yes, 100%.
So you're happy with that?
Yeah, totally.
And do you have any lesson that you would like to apply for your children in the future?
I would like to tell them that if I have children, obviously, that everything comes from a picture in your mind. So if you think something will happen this way, it will happen. So if you think positively about the action, then it will be better, but become the way you want it. So if when you think about it, it happens.
Yeah. Wow. So, what did you apply for your life?
I try to not think negative about anything anymore. I try to think positive. Even if something bad happens, I think about a positive thing that can happen along the way.
Yeah, we have learned about positive and negative, but could you share again with us how is positive in your perspective?
Positive, I believe, is just like joy and just happiness that just comes over all the bad, bad
Situation.
situations, yeah, that happen in our life. It's just simple as that.
I see. So, if anything that not in the way you like, you still see in the positive way, it means
Yeah,
that still have a chance, still have something good inside.
yeah.
But why? There is something that
I
the
think
same
me,
thing, but
yeah.
someone see is positive and the other see is negative.
Mm, maybe like if it's not positive now, then there's still another chance that the same things happen, but like it's positive for you. So maybe there's different times in life that you can enjoy, you can see and feel the joyfulness.
Yeah, okay, don't worry. We have really clear concepts about positive and negative that make us easier to decide. Easier to decide. It is based on the alignment with desire. Do you remember that principle?
Mm,
The first section we learned with Cô Linh Lê. So Cô showed us about how is positive and how is negative. And we could decide it, we know it immediately. Something maybe positive to us but negative to others or converse. It
mm.
it depends on
Um, mm.
check homework.
Yeah, I'm checking my homework.
Check homework depends on our
uh, where is it? I don't.
alignment with desire.
Oh,
Desire. We need to know what we desire. So we will say it is positive or negative, right?
yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Really appreciate your interaction because if I don't have you, maybe others are not available to talk to me. Okay, thanks a lot. And it's time for us um, to know about our main speaker today. Most of you knew her already, but for some, please allow me to introduce our teacher, Cô Trang. She's living and working in US right now. She is Master of Happiness. She is a Grandmaster in WIT, and she has so many courses in English, Duolingo Vietnamese and English to share this inner being knowledge. I really admire her because their dedication at work and so hardworking to spread this knowledge to people all over the world. And she's like an expert in all the aspect we are learning right now.
Recording in
And please
progress.
send her all your welcome hearts and flowers to our main speaker today, cô Trang ạ. Xin mời cô. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much, Coach Emma. Thank you for a great introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, where am I? It's actually 3 o'clock in the morning here. Thank you for the welcome. Chị Thanh Vân, cô Thủy Tiên. Yes. So, first I would like to say thank you ever so much for the opportunity to be able to be present here with all of you, and thank you ever so much for your learning, your continuous acknowledgement in your knowledge, in this knowledge, and thanks for believing in with community, for believing in yourself, in your transformation. Okay, I try to look at the camera. My camera is kind of at the bottom of the screen, so whenever I look up to your face, it's like I'm looking somewhere else. Hello, chào anh Ngọc Phước. Yes. Okay.
Hello, cô Trang.
Yes. Okay.
Hello, Miss Trang.
Hello,
everyone.
And been, yeah, you got to stand all day with your job, right? Okay. So yesterday, the last few days, teacher Long, Thầy Long has already shared with you the session in the root cause formula of life. Yeah. And we know that, and from the root cause formula of life, we understood that the seed in us is the mental image. So, what is the good seed within us? From the perspective of the root cause formula of life, can someone tell me what is the good seed within us? What is the good cause within us? Please. So yesterday and the day before, thank you very much, Coach Emma. Yes, the mental image, that's right. So from the root cause formula of life, let me just recap for whoever wasn't here yesterday. Okay, we had the 3 different perspectives when we look at life, our life. Okay, and from the scientific point of view, that's what we were looking at previously with Thầy Long. Okay. From the scientific point of view, we know that the good seed within us, or the good cause within us, is the we name it the root cause formula of life. Okay, and after we go from the whole journey, start from the outcomes of our life all the way back and trace it back to where does it come from, the outcomes of our life, we recognize that it's come from our personality, our action, our habit, our thought, and our belief, and eventually is led to our mental image, right? Mental image. And the mental image formed in our head or in our mind, that's actually formed from what we hear in our life, what we see in our life, what we say every day, and what we know for ourselves. Yeah. So we know that what we hear, see, say, know, all of that form the mental image in our mind. So the mental image, or the mental images, is the seed. Okay, the seed are, in other words, the cause within us under the scientific perspective. And today we're going to looking at another perspective, which called religions, faith. So religious perspective. So the next 3 sessions we're going to just looking at the religious perspective, and then we're going to move on to the wisdom-based ethics perspective later on after that. Okay, and it's a privilege for me to be able to share this with you all. Both religious perspective and wisdom-based ethics perspective for the next few days. Okay. So today we're going to start borrowing the perspective from the religious and faith to explore the root of our life. In another word, the cause of our life through this lens. Yeah. And we will borrow the Buddhist viewpoint, and examine a Buddhist concept known as the structure, the human energetic structure. Human energetic structure. So, before we delve into this knowledge of the human energetic structure, I would like to first help you to understand this term. Okay, let's write down with me if possible. The inner truth. The inner truth. Okay. So let's talk about the inner truth and what is it and why is it involved in this topic. So, for those of you who already know about this, it's fine. But for those who don't, for any of you already know, let's start from the beginning. Let's learning with the initial mentation. Okay. With the mentality of the beginner. Okay. So, in your opinion, what is the inner truth? In your opinion, what is the inner truth? Can someone tell me? If it's not convenient for you to speak up, just type in the chat box. In your opinion, what is the inner truth? What does it mean to you? If it's convenient, you can turn your mic on and speak. If not, then just type in the chat box. Okay, so chị Tường Vân said that the inner truth is the things not changed through space and time. Awesome. Thank you ever so much. Right. So, that is the inner truth. Okay. So, the inner truth is what does not change over space and time. Yeah? The inner truth is what does not change over space and time. Through space and time, that's fine. Okay. It have a little slightly differences in the meaning, but not much. Okay. Right. The inner truth is what does not change over space and time. Okay. The reason I use the word over, I'll explain it later. We have another concept that also related to this topic, and when we use the word over space and time, it makes more sense. Okay. So the inner truth is what does not change over space and time. Okay. Can someone read it out loud? The definition of the inner truth. Who had the courage to read the definition of the inner truth? The inner truth is what does not change over space and time. Does anyone have the courage to read it out loud? Or I'm writing it down. The inner truth is what does not change over space and time. Okay. Would anyone like to read it out loud? Now I have written it down. Yes, Kang, please.
The inner truth is what does not change over space and time.
Thank you, darling. Right, so according to this statement, what about things that change? Okay, now we know that the definition of the inner truth is what does not change over space and time. What about things that change? What happened to things that change? Obviously, they are not the inner truth. But what are they? Are they real? Are they truth? Things that change are real, but are they the inner truth? Okay, they are real, but they are not the inner truth because they change. Yes, and chị Thanh Vân have given us some example. Our body, our love. Okay. So the love we have for each other. Right. So let's looking at things around us. Okay, such as the house that you live in. Yeah, the house that you live in. Is there a change, right, over space and time? So we can say that the house. We cannot say that the house is not real. Right? Is it real? Is it true in front of you? You can see it, you can live in it. But it's not the inner truth because it's changing over space and time. Right? The house is right there. Is certainly real to most of us, or all of us actually. So the house is real, but it is not the inner truth. Yeah. And yes, thank you chị Tường Vân. So our demand, our house, our car, our demand. Yes, our demand. And someone have, I believe that someone have also sometimes questioning would our demand be true or not. But be the inner truth or not, be true or not. But it's certainly not the inner truth. Our demand is also changing, right? So our body. When we talk about body in the Buddhist, they have a saying that this body is temporary. This body is temporary. If we translate it to Vietnamese, then they say that thân này là giả tạm. Okay. So this body is temporary. That's what they said in Buddhist terms. And many people say that our body is temporary as well. We On another note, do we owe this body? or do we just use this body? What do you think? Do you think that this body, we know that it belongs to us, but do we actually own this body, everyone? Not own. Okay. Right. So we could possess it for a while. We could possess it while we, as long as we live on this earth. Yeah. As long as we're still alive, we could possess it for a while, but we don't really own our body. The reason I'm saying it that we don't actually own this body, because if whatever we own, we should be able to carry it with us wherever we go, right? Wherever we go, whenever we went, then we should be able to carry it with us. But unfortunately for us, when we leave this body, we are unable to, when we leave this earth, we are unable to take this body with us, right? We have to return it back to the earth, because we only borrow it when we come into life, when we come into the earth. We can use but not own. That's right. We can use but not own. And that's why this body is temporary. Okay. And because our body constantly changes, and most of us women in here would vow for it that they don't like the changes at a certain age. Right? So our body is not the inner truth. Is it real? It could be true to a certain extent, but it's not the inner truth, because it changed. Yeah. So, looking at our life, what can we find that don't change, that doesn't change? No. Even love, even what we're saying as that, well, sometimes you fall in love at the first sight, you promise to live with each other for a lifetime, but that love also changes over the lifetime. Right? Someday it's be a lot, someday you're very compassionate about that love, and someday just the sound of that person make you go crazy. And sometimes they can act like anyway. So that love changes. There's no such thing as the genuine love, but there is something we call as the something that we call tolerance. Later on, you will learn the term tolerance, and that is another kind of love that even higher or better than what we do call love during our lifetime. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people get together, they promise that they will never change their love for each other. We even have a song for it. We even have a song that something saying, the lyrics going something like, "You never change my love for you," right? But in reality, that is a false. So we do not have genuine love, but there's things called eternal love, and tolerance is an eternal love. Yes, nothing gonna change my love for you. Thank you very much, chị Tường Vân. Yes, you got what I mean. Nothing gonna change my love for you. That's a very, very popular trap. And unfortunately, most of us fall for it. Most of us fall for it, right? So it changed. And some of us get disappointed in love quite so often, because if we learn this knowledge from the beginning, we wouldn't be disappointed, we wouldn't be sad, since we know that it's not the inner truth. But most of us, we haven't got to be introduced to this knowledge at all in our life. Yeah? So lucky for us, or very fortunate for us, that our teachers, he has introduced this knowledge to our community. And from then, the mentor and master have the responsibility to share this knowledge to the world. Okay, so everyone know what calls the inner truth, and they do not get disappointed, do not get sad, do not get depressed because that they cannot get the love from the others. But they learn to love themselves. Okay, self-generated happiness is another word. So there's one type of love called eternal love. Okay. And in a few days, you'll be able to learn about the term called tolerance, which is said to be an eternal love. Eternal love is changes, mean that it's eternal love which changes means that something changes, but it still endures. It still endures because love has existed for thousands of years. Yeah, and a lot of religion. Since we talk about religion point of view here, a lot of religions put love at the top priority. Okay, so I say this to help us understand that everything around us seems to change if we notice. And if we sit down and observe that everything we cling to in life, everything we attach to in life, everything we entangle to in life also constantly changes over time. And reflect on your inner being, to re-examine yourself. Right? And we almost always clinging to things that change, don't we? Okay. For example, do any of us cling to our career? And do we cling to our marriage, get attached to our career, attached to our marriage, or get entangled to them? And do you notice that when we hold on to something, we get stuck in it? But if we talk about the definition of the inner truth, do you feel that what we cling to, what we get attached to in life always changes? Yes? So the thing we cling onto, the thing that we got attached to, the thing that we got entangled to, they all changes. The money, the finances, the people that we love, our body, our career, our lifestyles, everything, they change it. That's why, have you ever wondered why our lives are never stable? Our life never stable because we always cling to things that change. We move further away from inner peace and happiness. The more we get attached to things that change, the further away we move from inner peace and happiness. The more we get entangled into things that change, we move further away from inner peace and happiness. Unless we cling to something that does not change over space and time, we cannot achieve a life of inner peace and happiness. Okay. And talk about inner peace and happiness, let me tell you a tale. This tale this is the tale of the demon and human. The tale of demon and human. So, once upon a time, and this is a very, very long time ago, demon and humans has conflict while living together. And after a period of struggles, humans expelled the demons from their midst and forbade them from living together. Before leaving, the demons decided to take revenge. They stole the truth from humans. And they stole the inner truth from humans. And one quick-witted demon suggested hiding this inner truth on a high mountain, the highest mountain in the world. And another demon disagreed, is saying that if you hide on a high mountain, humans will eventually find it because they can reach it over time. Then another demon suggested hiding it deep in the jungle, thinking the dangerous forest would keep the humans away. But then another demon pointed out that no matter how dangerous the jungle, humans would eventually reach it. So hiding it in the deep sea was also proposed, but another demon noted that with advanced technologies, humans would eventually get there too. So, in their quest to hide the inner truth from human, okay, the demon realized that the best revenge was to make human cling to everything that changes. That's how it ends with us today. Okay, it's causing us to stray away from inner peace and happiness. So after much thought, the leader of the demon said, "There is one place where if we hide it, humans will never find it, because they will never think to look for it there. And they hide it in the deepest parts of our own being." And so the demons hid the truth, the inner truth deep within ourselves, the inner part, in the most deepest inside part of ourselves, our inner being, the inner being of human. Okay, and now all of us sitting here together, if we are not careful, we will always be searching for external things that will forever will be distant from the inner truth. So, up to this point, the true happiness of a human life is something that almost no one has found, because we always cling to pleasures and ever-changing aspects of this life. Okay. So, what do you think about the story? What's the moral of story here? It just let us know it's a make-up story, but it could possibly be true if we understand a little bit more about the cosmic view. But that's gonna be another topic. So we know that the inner truth has been hidden inside of us. Surprise endings, really. What would you expect for the ending? What, human and demon gonna live in peace forever? Like forever after happiness, some things.
Yeah, because I even didn't know that we have something inside that never changed before.
Yeah. And that's why most of us, we only look for things outside and expect that someone may bring us happiness, expects that the money gonna bring us happiness, expects that the new clothes, new house, new car, new career gonna bring us happiness, okay, new lifestyle. But obviously didn't last long with all of those stuff, because they are things that changes over space and time. And that's why we're always wondering why our life never remains stable. Okay. So when we hear such story about when we heard the story of the tales of demon and human, okay. Now, and fortunately for us, we have that over 2,000, actually more than 2,500 years ago, a being. Back then we can call him as someone, but now we call him as a being. Someone discovered where the inner truth is, okay? And since then he has sharing it to the world. And this person's missions were to reveal and help people clearly understand the wisdom of the Buddha. And that's why we borrow the Buddhist perspective here. So in Buddhist Dharma, or in Buddhist theory, they have already laid out everything about a human being, a human energetic structure, and they have pointed out to us where is that inner truth is. Okay. And they're showing people how to realize this inner truth within themselves. and that's why we borrow the knowledge of Buddhism to explore the structure of our inner self. So today we have the opportunity to uncover the deepest secrets within us, and we use the wisdom of Buddhism to understand. When I talk about this knowledge, which some of you already learned, that's fine, but some of you, it might be the first time you heard this knowledge, is might be falling into the realm of unknown areas. In previous session, I don't know if some of the teacher might have talked to you about some of the principle, and that particular principle we know that inside us we have the certain knowledge that we know, certain knowledge that we forgot, and certain knowledge that's falling into the area that's unknown for us. Okay. But we're going to take time on this to understand all of this knowledge. Okay. Right. So please help me by getting a large blank sheet of paper, and we're gonna use a lot of color marker or color pen if you have various color if possible. Then we're going to draw a diagram. Okay. If possible, you can do it with me. This diagram have a certain energy with it. If anyone of you like Feng Shui, then you can have this diagram hanging in your house. It will give you a certain energy that uplifts your life, certainly. So, and some of you, it's fine. Let's start drawing this diagram, and this is the diagram of human energetic structure. We start with the yellow color in the middle, and we write the word will. Can you really see? A little bit, right? Will. So it's the word will. This yellow is not will. Okay. In the middle, and then outside of this word we're going to have all the four words surrounding it. Will, hear, see, say, know. Okay. And then we draw a yellow circle around it. I'm going to explain it later, but for now let's focus on drawing it. Okay. Then next we're going to pick up an orange color and write the outside. So around this circle is the word reception. Okay. Perception, action, consciousness. And then we connect them all with a dot. Okay. Then pick up the green color and we write the word wealth. Okay. Wealth, form, okay. Fame, eating, resting, Then again we connect them all with the dot. There you go. Next, pick up the light blue color. Oh, just blue color, it's fine. Dark, if you have dark green, then use dark green. Since I only have one green color, okay, dark green would be better. Because later we will use blue for another color, but I don't have dark green. So outside here we have greed. Okay. Anger, delusion, arrogance, skepticism, evil, and view. And we also connect them all together as well with the dot. Then we're going to draw a wave around this. Okay, a circular wave with blue color first, and then we're going to use red color to draw another wave on the top of it in a different way. They intertwine each other, the blue and red. And we will explain to you later what do they mean. Okay. Then the outside, we're going to get the brown color to and we write down here is 84,000 illusory bubbles. Okay, 84. I'm missing some word or something. 84,000 illusory bubbles. 84,000 illusory bubbles. Okay, and because it's a bubble, we're going to draw bubbles. So draw a lot of small circles to represent bubbles. Okay, take your time and enjoy the process of drawing it. Some of the students has been advised to draw this diagram like 200 times. Okay, and then we got the purple color, and we draw on top of this is 4 great body elements. Four great body elements. And underneath the opposites of 4 great body elements, we write earth, water, air, and fire. Earth, water, air, fire. Oh, I just noticed that in earth, air, water, and fire, they all have the letter R. Then we also connect them with dot, the letter dot. And one more time, we're going to have another wave, a circular wave, outside of the 4 great body elements. Okay, the blue color and then the red color. Okay, just interchanging between them. There you go. So we have the human energetic structure. At the bottom of this, we're going to write a few words. First is going to write 3 fields. If you go on Google and look up for the human electromagnetic energy field, you're gonna see extensive research. I just did today actually about certain vibrational field cover our body has been done by science. So this knowledge has been introduced to in Buddhism 2,500 years ago. But in science, they have discovered. So if you would like to read more about it in English, then you can look up on Google for the word electromagnetic human energies. Okay. So we have 3 fields here. And they we call them evil deed,
So round and nice and looking really good in that.
Thank you, T. Good deed. I'm taking my time here for everyone to be able to draw it as well. And merit. That's the 3 fields within our body, about not our body, our human energetic structure. And I will explain to you later where are these within this diagram. Okay. Then we have total karma. Remember, these are Buddhist terms. So some of it sounds very religious. Okay. But we just borrow their knowledge because they have already go ahead of us. Okay, and we have total. Within total karma, we also have 3 aspects of total karma. That's the total karmic consciousness. We have the total karmic condition. If you remember, the formula has been introduced to you in the last session. We have good cause plus favorable condition equal desirable outcome. Then that's the condition here. And this consciousness is within our consciousness. Oops. Then we have the last aspect is our total karmic outcome. Okay. Total karma, total consciousness, total karmic consciousness, total karmic condition, total karmic outcome. And within our total karmic outcome, we have something very tiny little bit that's called individual karma. We're gonna write it up here.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, speak up.
Yes, sir. I have an idea.
Go ahead.
Yes, because this it's not easy to explain. So can I say in Vietnamese?
Sure, go ahead.
Dạ. Thì cô là em thấy là trong một cái theo bên kiến thức của Phật giáo là cái mà tham sân si mạng nghi ác kiến đó.
Yes.
Thì cái từ kiến trong này cô dùng chữ phiêu này, mà theo cái nghĩa bên Phật giáo thì cái từ kiến nó có nghĩa là cái thiên kiến, tức là nhìn lại một bên, tức là nó mang năng lượng âm, nó tích âm chứ không phải là dương. Em nghĩ là cái từ bái ở
Thanks for your constructive feedback. Right, so the view relating to wording, okay, we have talked about things that we cling to in life, and wording is one of those. The way we use our word, we tend to cling to them. With language, as a human language, doesn't matter if you use Vietnamese, English, Indian, or Sanskrit. Sanskrit language is one of the oldest language in the world. Sanskrit language. Doesn't matter what language you use, with our human ability, we are unable to really comprehend this knowledge. So, for a certain part, at the moment we can understand that with Vietnamese language is the language of inner being. With English language is the language of science. And that's why we see that a lot of scientific experiments, scientific invention has been developed in Western country. Those countries speak English, right? And let's say Indian language have a lot of mystical stuff in there, because that is how their language has been laid out. So certain language we learn, we expand our knowledge and our awareness to a certain extent. That's why it's good to know a lot of knowledge, a lot of language. But in certain extent, we got to understand that language is only a way to show the meaning we want to share. So this diagram is not 100% taken. The words has been translated from the original language that has been written. I assume it was in Indian, and then it translated to Sanskrit, since India has been conquered by different countries back then, and this knowledge has been passing to so many regions all over the world before it get to China and to Vietnam. So believe me, it has been changing over the years. And what we know now is just what we know within our knowledge. And also with knowledge, our knowledge, it changes over space and time, right? Yesterday, you know a certain things, and today, your knowledge has expanded. And tomorrow, definitely, you will know more. So let's agree with each other on certain term here. And if tomorrow our knowledge expands, we understand things more, we comprehend more knowledge, then we can change the wording. Okay? But we do not get attached to it, do not cling to it, and do not entangle in the wording. Yeah? As long as we can understand the meaning behind it, as long as we can grasp this, or as long as we can receive the inner peace, then everything else doesn't really matter much. Would you agree with me on that? Or should I say it in Vietnamese so you can comprehend a bit? So allow me one moment so I can explain to him in Vietnamese. Với từ ngữ ở trong cái đồ hình của mình đó cả nhà, thì thật sự nếu mà mình trace, mình đi về lịch sử của những cái tri thức này của nhà Phật, thì trước đây là Đức Phật người chia sẻ cái tri thức này là người Ấn, phải không? Nhưng mà sau đó thì nước Ấn Độ đã bị chia 5/7 và bị conquer bởi những đất nước khác. Thì cái tri thức này cũng đã qua nhiều thế hệ, qua nhiều vùng đất và đã được chuyển đổi rất là nhiều cái ngôn ngữ khác nhau, từ cái ngôn ngữ Ấn cổ cho đến là ngôn ngữ tiếng Phạn là Sanskrit language, tiếng Phạn, rồi đã qua nhiều đất nước cho đến nước Trung Quốc, rồi đến nước Việt Nam. Thì chúng ta thấy thật sự là mỗi cái ngôn ngữ nó có một cái biểu hiện riêng. Ví dụ là tiếng Việt của chúng ta là ngôn ngữ của nội tâm, tiếng Anh là ngôn ngữ của khoa học, cho nên là có rất là nhiều những cái khám phá khoa học được phát triển ở những đất nước phương Tây. Tiếng Ấn là nơi của những cái ngôn ngữ gọi là mystical, sâu sắc về cho nên là ở nước Ấn á, có nhiều loại tôn giáo khác nhau, và trong một gia đình cha có thể tin vào một cái tôn giáo khác, mẹ có thể tin vào tôn giáo khác, con có thể tin vào tôn giáo khác. Thì trong một cái gia đình rất là open về tôn giáo ở Ấn. Đó thì còn ví dụ ở Nhật đi, ngôn ngữ của Nhật là sao? Nó biểu hiện ra cái sự lễ độ của một con người rất là cao, cho nên cái người Nhật á, người ta làm điều gì mà như chạm đến cái danh là người ta dễ để mà như là từ bỏ bản thân người ta, bởi vì người ta mất cái danh đó đi. Thì mỗi cái ngôn ngữ nó biểu hiện mở ra cho chúng ta một cái thế giới, và mở ra cho não của chúng ta rất là nhiều điều hay. Đó là lý do tại sao mà khoa học mà chúng ta được khuyên là mình nên học nhiều ngôn ngữ, hay là cái trending ngày nay là người ta cũng kêu là con nít mà biết nhiều ngôn ngữ thì mở cả não trái và não phải. Đấy, thì mình biết là cái tri thức này đã qua nhiều thế hệ, qua nhiều vùng đất và đã được thay đổi rồi ha. Cho nên là hồi nãy mình cũng nói về việc dính mắc vào những thứ thay đổi trong cuộc sống của mình á, thì con người dính mắc vào ngôn ngữ cũng là một thứ mà chúng ta có thể nhận ra. Vì vậy á, thì trong cái đồ hình này, cái từ ngôn ngữ mình chọn bằng tiếng Anh á cả nhà, thì có thể đâu đó nó chưa có như những cái phiên bản khác đã được dịch ra. Nếu bây giờ cả nhà xem nhiều phiên bản thì cả nhà sẽ thấy là nhiều lựa chọn ngôn ngữ khác nhau trong tiếng Anh. Cả nhà, nếu mà cả nhà đọc nhiều phiên bản của cấu trúc con người, cả nhà cũng sẽ thấy là có nhiều phiên bản chọn lựa từ vựng khác nhau, chứ không có đồng nhất hết tất cả. Thì ở đây là mình chọn cái từ vựng tạm thời như vậy ở cái hiểu biết của mình ngay thời điểm hiện tại. Ngày mai hiểu biết của mình tăng trưởng, nhận thức của mình tăng trưởng thì mình sẽ chọn những từ khác hai cả nhà. Nhưng mà mình sẽ không dính mắc vào cái từ ngữ, miễn sao là mình hiểu được cái nghĩa ở đằng sau, cái nghĩa sâu xa đằng sau. Và thật sự mà nói thì cái tri thức này, điều cần thiết nhất cho chúng ta là mình nhận được cái sự chân thật bên trong chính mình thôi hai cả nhà. Và khi mình nhận được cái sự chân thật bên trong chính mình thì những cái từ ngữ nó đâu thành là vấn đề nữa đâu hai cả nhà ha. Yes. So hope you be able to understand what I'm saying here. I know that some of the terms have been changing over time since our K1 to our K2 here. And if whoever has been participating in golden classes, you're gonna see that she is very flexible with words, and I admire her ability of improving and changing words, as well as at coaching the community to understand more, open their understanding more every day. Right. Oh, thank you, Gemma. Yes, that's fine. Good luck for your exam. She out already. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Shall we? Are you ready to continue? Tiếp tục ha cả nhà. I'm gonna get you to speak in bilingual from my other session. Right, so human energetic structure, the deepest inside, the core inside here, the inner core, we have what we call the will to hear, the will to see, the will to hear, the will to see, the will to the will to know. Okay, and this is enveloped by balanced energy, by balanced energy. So this is the what some of us can say is the halo. So some of the religions that you're looking at the saint in their religion, some people we call saint. We can see above the head there always a halo sign. So that is kind of the balanced energy that we're talking about here, which represent in the image of the halo sign. Some religions you can see the pictures they painted with of a saint with a golden halo sign on top of the head. So next we have the human nature shell. Human nature's shell, including 16 human natures. 16 human natures start from reception. We have perception, action, consciousness, wealth, form, fame, eating, resting, greed, anger, delusion, arrogance, skepticism, evil, view. Okay. And surrounding the human natures is the electromagnetic, the positive and negative electromagnetic layer. So let's say the blue color represents positive electromagnetic energy, and the red color represents for the negative electromagnetic energy. And next we have the 84,000 illusory bubbles. Okay. And lastly, the outside is the four great body elements. That include earth, water, air, and fire. Okay, and one more time, surrounding the four great body elements, we have another, the outer. So in here we have the inner, the inner positive, negative electromagnetic energies, and out here is the outer positive and negative electromagnetic energy. Okay, so the inner, outer. And this is a knowledge that, if evaluated, is the most worthy knowledge for humanity to explore regarding human life. Okay. Hello, Pierre Anthony. Welcome to the class. That's what Cô Thùy Linh said. So,
I've noticed Pierre in the room. Go and Trang.
yes.
Pierre and
Welcome.
Antoine. I think
I
that's
saw a couple of
maybe from
English
Germany.
name. Yeah, Pierre, Germany, and Jordan. Okay, Jordan Nguyen, Vietnam.
My son.
Oh, your son. Sorry, I forgot. Alright, Jordan again. Right. So we have just go through the human energetic structure diagram. Okay, and we know what it consists of. Anyone have any questions for this? Just the diagram, right? We're going to explain each detail later on. So we go into the detail in a minute, but for now, anyone have any questions so far? Right, so let's get into the explanation of this diagram. Okay, and after we finish with the explanation, we totally understand of ourselves. We have a full awareness of who we are, what we are, and what involved, and we technically could possibly answer most questions that we have wondering throughout our life relate to human life, human existence, human beings. Okay. Right. So according to Buddhist terminologies, the deepest part is referred to differently. Okay. However, with both folk traditions and scientific terminologies, they have their own terms for this. Since folk terminologies is the easiest for us to grasp, we go into call them in different terms. Yeah, we go into talk about what they are called in the folk tradition and in scientific terms, in Buddhist terms. What would you see on the diagram? That is all in the Buddhist. They already name it already. But for now, we're going to write down. Okay, let me see if I can fit both pages on the screen. No, not really. Forget about it. All right. So we will have talk about the folk terminologies, and we have science terminology, scientific terminologies. Okay, and down here we're gonna have Buddhist terminologies. Right. So look at the middle here. In folk tradition, they call this is the heart. They call this part is the heart. The center, the core, is the heart. Yeah, the heart. And so this is called the heart. Actually, to make it simpler, let's write down all of the Buddhist terms first. Let's write down all the Buddhist terms first. So the folk terminologies, they call the middle, the central part is the heart. With scientifics, they call the central part is the genuine truth. The inner truth. Apologize. Sorry. The inner truth. Inner truth. Okay. And with Buddhism, they call this the Buddha nature. Buddha nature. In a different scriptures, in different part, we have different terms. So Buddha nature, true nature. Okay, true mind or true suchness. Okay, so either heart, inner truth, Buddha nature, true mind, or true suchness. These are all the same things. We talk about the central part here, right? The middle bit of the diagram. And the outside here, we have what called the 16 human natures. Right. 16 human natures. Then we have the brown color is 84,000 illusory bubble. 84,000 illusory bubble. Okay, and the and then we have the outer parts is the 4 great body elements. Sorry, 4 great body elements, which include earth, water, fire, and fire. Okay, 4 great body elements. Okay, include earth, water, air, and fire. So let's see what do they call these, each of these in science and folk. Okay, and with the second layer, human, the 16 human natures, in folk terminologies, they call we call it the natures. In scientific terms, they call it character. Personality. Personality. This personality you came across when we talk about the root cause formula of life. Yeah, our personality make up of our choices that lead to our outcomes in life. Personality. Yeah, and the 84,000 illusory bubbles. Okay, we call it emotion in folk terminologies, and emotion with as in scientific terms. Okay. Yeah. The only difference is the S, the letter S. With the 4 great body elements, in folk terminologies they call it body. In scientific we might call it the human body. Right. So that's it, the name. So after we naming all of them, it start getting clearer. I don't know why the paper to keep. So that is the name for this diagram, the human energetic structure in folk terminology, in scientific terminologies, and in Buddhist terminologies. Okay. Heart, nature, emotion, body, inner truth, personality, emotions, human body, Buddha nature, true mind, true suchness. There's actually many other names as well. 16 human natures, 84,000 illusory bubbles, 4 great body elements. Does include earth, water, and fire. Okay. Here, we have the term. We're going to use the term, the folk terminologies, heart, nature, and emotion, quite often later on, right? So within our heart, or our inner truth, or our Buddha nature, true mind, true suchness. Okay, let's get back to the diagram. We have the will. So this what we call the heart, what we call the inner truth, which is what we already defined at the beginning, is what does not change over space and time. Okay, and is also called Buddha nature as well. So within it contain the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, and the will to know. And this is enveloped by the balanced energy. In other words, the nature to hear, the nature to see, the nature to say, and the nature to know. We call it the heart. Okay. So according to science, in scientific terms, the deepest part within ourselves is the inner truth. The inner truth. And in Buddhism, this is referred to as Buddha nature, true mind, and true suchness. Okay. So all of these represent the will to hear, the will to see, the will to sight, the will to know. Is it the same way? The same way. When talking about the heart, people use folk language to refer to what is inside of us. The will to hear, the will to see, the will to sight, the will to know. Okay. So in scientific terminology, it's referred to as the inner truth, the inner truth. What does suchness means? Okay, it's if we translate into Vietnamese, it also doesn't mean anything to you. So, be honest, let me tell you the Vietnamese now. It doesn't mean anything to you. It's the same with English. So Buddha nature is Phật tánh, true nature is chân tánh, true mind is chân tâm, and true suchness is chân như. Chân như. Okay, it have meanings in Buddhist meanings, but for now we do not delve much into of that. We're not going to explain what does it really means here. What we really want to know is how does it call, what does it call, in order to recognize it whenever we see it. And then we're going to talk about what does not change over space and time, because that was left from the tales of demon and human. Okay, is we are on the journey to look for what is the inner truth within ourselves, and that's what we are aiming for to achieve right now. Yeah, is that okay, Crystal?
Yeah, thank you.
Right. So where did we get to? Yes. So it's the same terms. Either we call it inner truth, either we call it Buddha nature, true mind, true suchness, either we call it the heart. It's the same term, but it's all referred to something that they are different terms, sorry. They're different terms, but they all refer to something that does not change over space and time. Yeah? So we can say that the inner truth is something that does not change over space and time. We can say that the Buddha nature is something that does not change over space and time. And we can say that the heart in our terminologies is something that does not change over space and time. But we know that the physical heart does change over space and time, right? But within our term of four terminologies, the heart we refer to is that this part that does not change over space and time. But if you tell me that our physical heart does change, then yes, you're absolutely right. Okay, so let's say we separate the will to hear, yeah, separate it. It's equal the true nature of hearing, the true nature of hearing. Okay, and if we separate the will to see, is the true nature of seeing. Also the same with the will to say is the true nature of saying, and the will to know is the true nature of knowing. So why is it called the inner truth according to the definition that the inner truth does not change over space and time? Okay, if we look at the will to see, let's look at the will to see first. Or maybe we look at the will to hear first. Look at the will to hear. Okay, will to hear. So if we block our ears, yeah, even if you block your ears, you just block your ears. Okay, you still hear certain sound, right? Even if you block your ears, there is still certain sound going on. Okay, you hear the sound, and if there's no sound at all, we do hear the absence of sound, right? So what we hear can change, but the act of hearing always remains unchanged. Do you understand? What we hear can change, but the act of hearing always remains unchanged. Yeah? What we hear changes, but the act of always hearing, okay, remains unchanged. Hello, cô Tiên. So the will to hear does not change, but what is heard changes. What we heard changes. The will to hear does not change, but what we heard changes all the time, even when there is no sound, even when we block our ears. Yeah? Do you get this? Is that clear? That's clear why we say that the will to hear is what does not change over space and time. Are we clear on this? I'm waiting for some response to know that if you can get it or not. Okay, let's talk about the will to see. Maybe it's get clearer. Right. Thank you, Tina. So with what we're seeing, with what we're seeing, let's say if you close your eyes right now. Right, try to close your eyes right now, everyone. Okay, stop what you're doing and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Can you still see when you close your eyes? Can you still see when you close your eyes? Yes. Thank you, Tina. So, when you close your eyes, you might see blackness. Or possibly, if right now you close your eyes and I said there is a pink elephant, probably you could see that as well. Yeah? Some of you may see your husband, your children, see your future. You see the tree, you see flower. Yeah. So what you see is always changing. Yeah. What you see always changes. But the act of seeing always remains unchanged. Thank you, Thanh. So who did see the pink elephant? Or even when you open your eyes, right? And I said there is a pink elephant. You still see it. Without any pink elephant in front of you. Yeah, so we do see the act of seeing remains unchanged whether we use our eyes or we don't use our eyes, whether we can visibly see or not. But the act of seeing always remains unchanged. But what we see, what we seen, changes. The act of seeing always remains unchanged. What is seen changes. Okay, we don't overthink much on this because the inner truth. It does not come from thinking. Yeah, so just listen to what I'm saying and just take it in as it is. If you try to overthink it, you won't be able to receive the inner truth at the end of the session today. Because once you start thinking, you overthinking, you won't be able to receive the inner truth. It is something very simple, but once you remain as a clear head, clear heart, you can simply receive it. Okay. So the will to see is the act of seeing that remain unchanged, but what we see changes. We're seeing the sky, we're seeing the earth, we're seeing everything around us. What is seen always changes, but the act of seeing remains unchanged. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that the act of seeing always remains unchanged? Yeah, what is seen changes. Thank you, Tina, again. But the act of seeing always remains unchanged. With eyes closed, you are always seeing. With eyes opened, you are always seeing. So the will to see does not change, but what is seen changes. Again, with what we say and what we know. Okay? Even if, does anyone feel that even if you, that you are still saying even without you opening your mouth? Okay? You might saying something right now inside your head while I'm talking. And when you open your mouth, maybe you're saying something totally different from what's going on in your head. Yeah? Some of us, we do it sometimes that we think of something, but when we open our mouth to speak, when we open our mouth to say, we say things that is not really going on in our head. We say the opposite things. And we do that a lot. Okay? We might think of like wanting our children to have a clear vision and looking at the phone far away to keep a bright eyes. But when we open our mouth, okay, we talk to ourselves that we're gonna say positive thing. We talk to ourselves that we're not gonna scold our children. But by the time we open our mouth, we're telling them off all the time. So what is spoken changes, but the act of sayings always remain unchanged. What we said changes, but the act of saying always remains unchanged. Because whether we open our mouths or not, we are always saying. There's no other ways. So the will to say does not change, but what is spoken, what is said, changes. There's a book called The Little Voice. Little Voice. I think it's written by Brian Tracy. Yeah? I don't remember the author, but there's a very popular book called The Little Voice. There's always constant voice, constant saying inside of you. And you keep yapping all the time. And sometimes even in your sleep. Okay. Now let's look at the will to know. When we know something, we know this, we know that, we know the other things, we know this thing, we know that things. So it's always changed. But the act of knowing always remain unchanged. Okay? Although what we know always changes, what is known changes, but the act of knowing always remain unchanged. So the will to know does not change, but what is known changes. Okay? So we say that the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know are the heart of human energetic structure according to folk terminologies. Okay? Or what's it called, the inner truth according to scientific terminology. And Buddhists practice to find this unchanging truth. Yeah? That's why a lot of people have spent time and seek for this inner truth. Okay? They go into the temple, they spend most of their life practicing, meditating, just to figure out this inner truth. Fortunately for us, we don't have to sit down, meditate, we don't have to go into the temple, we don't have to shave our head and become a monk. We still be able to receive the inner truth. Okay? Is it the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know? They are our heart, our inner truth, the Buddha nature. Okay? So, let's explaining it in another way, in order for us to receive what is the inner truth. Now we explain it on a diagram. Okay, let's go deeper into everything. So when we say this is the heart, okay, so we have the term heart, nature and emotion. So this is the heart, the nature and emotion is our 84,000 illusory bubbles. Yeah, we're going to draw another diagram to represent that. Okay, inside of us we have the will. So start with will to hear, see, say, know. Okay. Then we have the outside is the nature. And the outer here is the emotional layer. Okay, emotional layer. So let's say when a message conveyed to us, okay, when an outside external message sent into us, when we heard someone say something, when we heard someone say something, when we seen someone do something, okay, when someone says something to us, when something we already has been known, we call them a message. Yeah? So a message is conveyed to us. It's enter our body through, so we have the body outside. So it enters our body through the 5 senses, pass it through the layer of emotion of 84 illusory bubbles, okay, science, okay, and science, and it's just called emotion, and then the layer of human natures, the scientifically call this personality, right? Scientifics call this personality. So this personality is in the nature, our human nature is in Buddhism. So when a message is conveyed through humans, when a message sent it to us, it's touched the, let me ask you questions. When a message conveyed to you, the message sent it to you, which layer do you think that is get to first? The heart, the natures, or the emotion? What is the inner truth except the will to hear, the will to say, the will to know? You tell me. You tell me. What else are there we can call the inner truth? So Tường Vân, chị Tường Vân asked the questions that, what is the inner truth except the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know? What else? Okay, if you observe your life, look deeply, what else can you find? Can you find anything else? Can you find anything else that you can call what doesn't change over space and time? What else in your life? What else can you see? What else do you know that does not change over space and time? Right, said or nothing else. So for now, that's all we know. Maybe in the future, some enlightened being may point it out something else for us, but for now, this is all we know. For now, this is all we know, that the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know, it was does not change over space and time. Obviously, we open for possibility, but for now, that's all what we can know and explain, which has been known to us by, has been discovered by the Buddha more than 2,500 years ago. Otherwise, everything else changes over space and time. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Thank you. So, I remember in the past, someone told me that, their race hasn't changed. Their race won't change. Their skin won't change. The skin color won't change over space and time. That's because we haven't actually talked about something called total karma. Yeah, when we get to the time we talk about the total karma, you're gonna see that even our skin, our races, it changes over space and time. Everything else changes, as well as the living. There's the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know. Okay, so when the message conveyed to us is, what do you think? Okay, what do you think? Which layer do you think is going to get to first? Which do you think? Which layer do you think when the message conveyed to us? Which layer do you think? Emotion. Okay, chị Tường Vân said emotion. Anyone else have any other opinion? Remember, chị Tường Vân, the outside the body as well. So the message go through our body, through our 5 senses, right? And then it gets to emotion, get to human nature, get to the heart. So you think that it goes straight into the emotion? Yeah? Anyone else have any other opinion? Analyze. Just get to the will. Chị Tường Vân now say where to the, you changed your mind. Is that? Câu hỏi. Alright, so you changed your mind. Can you explain why? Is it possible for you to speak up? Why did you change your mind? From the message going to your emotion. From the emotion to the will. So this is the heart. This part.
Hello, teacher.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's a little inconvenience because I'm in the office. So I just take a few minutes to explain my thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the will convey the message first, because but we cannot recognize it because the emotion and the nature heart jump in so quick with the speed of light. That's why we cannot recognize that our will take the message first.
Good explanation. Possibly it's been explained to you before, I guess.
Yes, I have learned from in Vietnamese version.
Very well. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for remembering that it doesn't go to emotion layer first. Thank you for changing your mind at the end. Okay, so in order to say which layer is go to first, we've got to go backward a little bit. Okay, go back one step to figure out what involved in our inner being. Okay, so as we know, our human energetic structure includes the heart, the nature, the emotion, and the body. The heart, okay, the nature layer, the emotion layer, the nature cell, emotional cell, and the body cell. Okay, so if we take the body away, then what inside of us we call inner being. Yeah, our inner being involve our heart, our nature, and emotion. Okay, so this part we call is our inner being. Okay, and what we want to achieve in life is to master our inner being. Okay, so first we understand what is our inner being. Yeah, so our inner beings includes emotion, nature, and heart. Okay, so now you know that your inner being is not only one piece anymore. It includes 3 parts, that is emotion, nature, and heart. Okay, so that's clear. So when you understand the will, the heart is content, the inner truth, but also you understand your inner beings that include emotion, nature, and heart. Yeah, and the heart is the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know. Okay, then we all want to master our inner being. Okay, mastering our inner being, làm chủ nội tâm. Okay, this means, okay, so what is mastering our inner being? In order to master our inner being, okay, master the inner being, or mastering our inner being. Mastering our inner being means being proactive and responsible. Proactive and responsible for the choices within our inner being. For the choices within our inner being. For the choices. You remember that where did we talk about the choices before? In the last session, when you learned about the root cause formula of life, we did talk about choices, right? Yeah? So where do that choices come from? You all know about that, okay? So, master our inner beings means that we are being proactive and responsible for the choices within our inner being. Okay? Within our inner being. Within our inner being. And our inner being consists of our heart, our nature, human nature, and our, there's a different, it's not red color, and our emotion. Yeah. So, mastering the inner beings means being proactive and responsible for the choices within the inner being to control external circumstances. Okay? To control external circumstances. To control external circumstances. So, what are these circumstances? These external circumstances is the message that conveyed to us here. So, when someone said that, okay, chị, Bình Trần, you look fabulous today, right? Thanh, why so you so crazy? So that is the external circumstances, right? Someone says something to you. That's the external circumstances. That's the message sending to you. Yeah. Okay. So when we heard that, okay, when that message conveyed to us, it go to where it's actually go to, then we go into looking at that right now. Because once we master our inner being, we be proactive and responsible for the choices that we make. Okay, the choices that we make regarding our inner being, our heart, natures, and emotion. Okay, in emotion, to control the external circumstances. For example, someone may call you crazy. If you get entangled in the light of emotion, yeah, there are two types of entanglement. Either you're being used to hearing it so often that someone call you crazy, or someone call you genius, someone call you marvelous. It seems the same, so we like it. But for some people, hearing the word crazy reminding them of their mental illness. Okay, and they instantly get angry upon hearing it. And this is called responding with emotion. It's called responding with emotion. Okay, responding with emotion. Respond with emotion. Yes. Respond with emotion. If we know that we also have the ability to receive message with the heart, yeah, then when someone calls us crazy, we just hear it. At that moment, our inner being is our heart very peaceful and comfortable. Okay, and after a moment of calm, we are allowed to evoke our emotion. So we have the right to react emotionally by replying to them and saying, "Are you calling me crazy?" Some other replied. And with that, anger is by the foundation of the first we receiving with the heart. Okay, that we be able to control our anger at first, but then when we receive with the heart, our anger is proactive and not overwhelming. But sometimes after receiving with the heart, we use the nature to analyze and differentiate. We use our nature to analyze and differentiate. Analyze and differentiate, I think. So let's say this message, someone may call you crazy, someone may call you good looking. Is there a different message? Okay, and when someone compliments you, saying that you are so beautiful, you are so handsome, you're so good looking, if you receive too many compliments, you may gradually become attached to them, and then you become arrogant. Then when someone compliments you, that you decide to use your mind to receive it, because you now master your inner being. So when you master your inner being, you use the mind to receive, you use the heart, right? Use the heart to receive it. Heart to receive it. So if not, if you're unable to master your inner being, then you won't be able to use your heart to receive it. Okay, then eventually you get attached to that compliment and become arrogant. Yeah. But once we use the heart to receive it, we remain balanced. We do not get attached to it. And after we use our heart to receive it, then we use our human nature to analyze and differentiate. And why is it? Is it because of what you might reply to them? That why did you say I'm crazy? Why did you say I'm good looking? Is it because what I'm wearing today? Is it my new hairstyle? Yeah. So we taken the initiative at that moment and use the heart. Okay. Or we might choose to use human nature to analyze and differentiate, or we might choose to use emotion to respond. So sometimes someone give you a compliment, you use the heart to receive it, then you use emotion, use nature to analyze and differentiate, then you use emotion to respond. Okay. And in the past, we didn't know what there's are involved in our inner being. Okay. In the past, we didn't know what involved in our inner being. So when we receive the message, we unconsciously assume that the inner being is just one thing. Yeah. Therefore, we react based on whatever came to us. Okay. We are unable to detach from our emotion, or our nature, or our hurt. But now we know what involved in our inner being, and now we'll be able to master our inner being, which means we have the choice to choose to use our heart to receive, your human nature to analyze, differentiate, or use our emotion to respond. Okay? It's important to acknowledge that we have the heart, the natures, and the emotion. So we'll be able to avoid getting entangled in what we heard, in what we saw in our life. And if we stay focused on the will to hear, the will to see, the will to say, the will to know, then we will receive everything with the inner truth. Yeah, we will receive everything with the inner truth. And if you be able to do that, you have mastered your inner being. Okay, if you be able to do that, you have mastered your inner being. Yeah. So you be able to master your inner being, which means you control your life, and no one can affect you anymore. No message can affect you anymore. Right. So in order to master your inner being, you must follow this sequence. First, use the heart to receive, then use the nature to analyze and differentiate, and then use emotion to respond. Yeah. Okay. For example, when I hold this up, yeah, isn't it true that you see it first, right? And that's the moment when you see it, there's no entanglement in your heart, in yourself at all. You see it as it is. As soon as you see it, you begin to receive it. Okay, just receive what it is, and then you begin to analyze and distinct and differentiate what it is. Okay, and you might say that this is a pen. And then you continue to analyze and differentiate it further. This is a pen, or is a marker, and this marker is green color. So, yeah. And then after that, your emotion jump into. You might say something like, "Oh, I don't like green. I like red." Okay. Can I change it to red marker instead of using green here? Right. So the true seeing always see first. The true seeings always see first. Then the nature and emotion intervene. And because they intervene so quickly, we don't have the sense that our heart has already received it. And so when we're going to learn a term that called the inner emptiness of the inner being here. So when we first see this, seeing comes first, yeah. Then there is a delay, and it has a delay. After that delay, then our nature intervenes, then emotion intervenes, and that delay creates a space in the inner being. It creates a space. That delay creates a space. Now, the space in our inner beings. Okay, it's called the emptiness of the inner being. It's called the emptiness of the inner being. It's called the inner emptiness of the inner being. Sorry. Inner emptiness. inner emptiness of the inner being. Yeah. And then natures and emotion begin to intervene. So that's delay, that moment of delay, that space there, we call it the inner emptiness of the inner being. So now we're going to borrow the idea of hearing and seeing, hear and seeing, what we hear, see as a raft. Yeah, we're going to borrow the idea that what we hear and see as a raft, and this raft going to go from one side of the river to the other side of the river. So we have a raft, and this raft is carrying what we hear and see, the hearing and seeing. Okay, this raft is going to carry the seeing and hearing on it to go to the other shore of the river. Okay, the shore. So let's go from here to the other side. Right. When it's reached here, when it reaches to this shore of the river, when it reaches here, the journey to the other side, is the delay, the space that we were talking about, is our inner emptiness. Yeah. Okay. And so the journey from one side of the shore to the other side of the shore is the inner emptiness of our inner being, and that is how it's created. And when this raft gets to the other shore, it's finished the journey, crossing to the other side, which is the shore of the inner peace and calmness. This is the shore of inner peace and calmness. Yeah. So the result when a person achieves the inner emptiness of the inner being is subsequently a state of inner peace and calmness. So whenever you feel uneasy, unhappy, angry, or any negative emotion in life, you can tell yourself one of these words to bring yourself back to the inner emptiness, or inner peace, or calmness, and those negative emotions will stop. Is what we call one word Zen, and they has been introduced to us by our master. It's called one word Zen. That is release, stop. You're just telling yourself that, and you'll be able to bring yourself back to inner emptiness or inner peace. Okay, keys, end. Or sometimes you're telling yourself that let it go, don't hold it back anymore. Right? My kid keeps singing that song over Christmas. So these are one word Zen, but we also have another word longer than one word, let it go. And sometimes if we're just telling ourselves to let it go, it's much easier. And these are the one word Zen that we can apply in our life when we feel uneasy, when we feel the negative emotion arise, okay? When we feel unhappy, angry, resentment, then just remind ourselves of this one word Zen to bring us back to the inner emptiness, bring us back to the inner peace. Okay, and the more once you receive this, when you receive this, the inner truth, the emptiness, the inner peace, Yeah, you be able to practice it more in your life, applying it more in your life, then this space here, this delaying here is gonna get longer, longer and longer. Okay. Yeah. Any question here? As we all receive the inner peace. Before we end the session, let me tell you a story. This story will bring it to tomorrow's session. Continue this. This is not story actually, not a start. It's a real story. In a study on monkey behavior, when the scientists there's a group of scientists, they do a study on monkey behavior. Okay, all the researcher, they fed monkeys. They go to an island where all the monkey live there, and they fed the monkey sweet potato. But before they give the sweet potato to them, they bury it in sand before giving it to the monkey to eat. And for a long time, the monkey just doesn't know how to get rid of the sand, so they kinda have to eat the sweet potato and the sand together. But then one day, one 18-month-old monkey, a little monkey, accidentally cleaned a potato when it fell into a pot of water. Right, and from then on, it knows how to clean the potato from the sun, off the sun. So it taught the parents and siblings to wash the sweet potato before eating, and this behavior has been passed on to many other monkeys. Excuse me. So the researcher tracked which monkeys were directly taught by their families and marked them. When they reached to the 100 monkeys, when the 100th monkey knew how to wash the sweet potato before eating, even though it hasn't been directly taught. Okay, and the researcher, they go into a different island close by, but those islands, they are separate from each other. They have no connection at all, and they found that every monkey on the other island, they knew how to wash the sweet potato before eating as well. So the monkey on the other islands also knew about this technique, washing the potato which buried in sand. And then the researcher conducted that washing sweet potato has become a natural behavior for the monkeys as soon as it reached to the 100th monkey. So this study known as the 100 monkey effect. So from that point on, washing sweet potato before eating become a natural behavior for the monkeys, and that's give us a great hopes. What kind of hopes? Because in the beginning, okay, in this research, at the beginning, very few, only one monkey know how to wash, and then it start passing on to the other monkey. So with us, at the beginning, very few people receive the inner truth, right? At the beginning, very few people receive the inner truth. But gradually, over time, okay, we have to be grateful for the community that our teachers have started, our teacher has built, okay? And thanks to the recent COVID pandemic as well, had taught us a great lesson that we need to stabilize our inner being. We need to master our inner being, okay? We needed the inner peace within us. Okay, so this knowledge has been spreading, has been passing on for so many people now. That is give us a faith that all of us, all of the people over the world, the people